Okay, if you watched my last video, took a pressure pot, or actually a paint pot, and converted it over to a pressure pot to use for casting resins. Now I'm going to show you the errors I made, and hopefully you can learn from them. Well, first I made this because the bottom of this pot is not square, it's cups down, so that leaves it level. I have my silicone mold and another little piece of plywood. So the problem that I found with the silicone mold when I try to get it in there is it's all liquid, so it's really not a good way to grab. So what I did is I made a little piece of wood. So instead of squeezing stuff out, I can take this up, lay it right inside the pot, and then I can add pressure to it. So that's just one little thing that I did different than the first video I showed. The other thing is, which I hadn't thought about it, but in my garage, the garage slopes in order to run off water. Brain dead, didn't think about it, so hey, my problem. I'm gonna bring this over there. First, I know it was not mixed right. I had my grandson, we were just kind of throwing, just experimenting, see what would happen. This is actually pretty flexible. I don't know if you can see it. I'll walk it over here, you can see, and that's been out and drying for a good week and a half. So it isn't, or wasn't, put together right with the right amounts of each of the resin and the hardener. And the other thing is, I don't know if you can see it, this side here is a lot higher than this side. And that was because my garage slopes, didn't think about it. So when I put it in here and then stuck it into the pot has a slope. Didn't think about it. So then after overnight, letting it dry, do the whole 9 yards, I pull it out and I go, oh man, this looks not too bad for just mixing, messing around, but it's not thick enough to do what I need. It wasn't mixed right, as you can see by the coloring. I did add some dye to it, very little. You can kind of get a better look at it from here, hopefully. So, a couple of things to do. If you have a better idea, I'm all open for it. I know that the bottom of that is level, because I've already checked that. I wanted to make sure I'd sanded and planed the wood right. This stays level, so when I put it in there, what I need to do is make sure this stays level when I put it on my workbench. It could be anything from, might have had something under it, whatever, but the floor itself has a slight slope. And if you don't have it level, again, first time we're messing around with it, this is what you get. The coloring is bad because we just slapped in some resin and some hardener just to kind of get a feel for how the pressure pot would do. Did good, but it isn't good to work with. It's nice and flexible. Have a lot of fun with it. The colors aren't the way I would like. So now, first step done, figured out what I did wrong, and hopefully when I turn the next one, or mold the next one, it'll come out right. So you might think about it, make sure this is level. If you have an insert like I have in mine, make sure it stays level. This one here, this pressure pot that I built, can go to 80 PSI. I only put it at 50, and within basically overnight and a couple more hours, and the thing was like this, and it stayed it ever since. So that's something you can think about. Bye now.